Alrighty, we are back already fairly quickly for the next winners round of 8 match for the Omega Invitational. Anthony with you once again, and we just finished up the Ozzy versus Mr. X match, which saw Ozzy win 2-0, and we are straight into the action here with Naga on Fort Max, unsurprisingly, versus Brett on a Galaxy Prime deck of all things. And Bill's talking about Taco Bell. Bill, you can shut up about Taco Bell now. We're all clear to go. Okay, so we are now off to the races already. And I believe Brett won the roll-off, so he will go first. Flipping Flame War. Sending Ayuk in first here. Now, I'm going to be paying close attention to this match because I need to know how to beat Fort Max since I have to face Techno in this winner's round of 8, who is also on Fort Max. So, Fort Max will do a damage to Ayuk and takes 1 damage on this attack. And Naga will draw for turn, and I am now going to turn down Naga's volume so that way I can actually talk. Fight for position comes down. Flipping Fort Max to bot mode. Sending into Ayuk. There's the trigger. So 2 to everyone across the board. Pierce 3 is the attack, so is that 10 Pierce 3? 10 Pierce 3. Blocking 3, Ayuk is off the board. Dropping a armed hovercraft for an enforcement batons, and we will go ahead and flip Fort Max to alt mode and move back over to Brett's turn. He'll have 2 attacks here. Let's see if he could pop Fort Max, or if he can pop Fort Max here. I can speak. Flipping up Prime, unsurprisingly. Handheld Blaster, that I normally would call that heresy, but... Oh, wait, there's a bigger they are. Flame War into Fort Max. Well, obviously it's going into Fort Max. Who else is it going into here? But a Pierce 4 hit is not too bad. Also, this is looking to be a blue deck. 5 Pierce 4. Flame War takes the damage off Fort Max's trigger. Taking Pierce 4 up to 5. 10 damage needs to get through off this Galaxy Prime hit. I've seen more bizarre things happen, but we will see how this ends up playing out. Dropping a Sab Arms for a Scoundrel's Blaster. Good pickup there. Flame War should be a little more consistent going into the later turns now. And Galaxy Prime in, he's got that bold 1. Can he eclipse or get 12 or 10 damage through here? Going in for 9, and he will get to play an upgrade after the battle, I believe. Trigger goes off, he'll take a damage. And we had a bit of a glitch there just because I was opening up Teletrain here. As I am checking Galaxy Prime to make sure that is how he works. Yep, after the battle, that is how that works. The Matrix is now on Galaxy Prime, and let's see if Flame War can tank a hit from Fort Max here. That is going to be crucial here. I'm assuming Naga would go after Fort Max in this situation. Dropping a Espionage, and I am getting a frozen screen. Okay, the screen froze. I don't know what the call was there, unfortunately. Escape capsule onto Fort Max, and then send him in. Again, I do not know what the call on Espionage was. I could not see it as my screen froze. Shoot the entire team for 2. The attack is going in for 10. Does Flame War take less than 5 damage here? 10 into 1. 2, 3. Flame War is off the field. It's a 1v1 now between Fort Max and probably Cerebros here in a moment. And Galaxy Prime. So, Galaxy Prime will attack. Cerebros will get to attack. Then we get an untap. Ooh, this is already not looking good for Brett. Just because both characters off in one hit. Fort Max is always a pain in the ass. Oops, excuse my language there. Drawing for turn on Brett's side. Sparring gear, that helps. Secret action comes down. And Galaxy Prime swings in. Let's see if the KO happens here. It probably will. Going in for 9. And probably getting that Energon Axe after the battle. 9 into 6. Taking 4. On the nose KO of Fort Max, and Cerebros will deploy, replacing the handheld with an Energon Axe. Unsurprising. Naga will draw for turn, and this is the meat of the deck, ladies and gentlemen. Cerebros is on the field. We now have a good old-fashioned boxing match happening here between Galaxy Prime and Cerebros. Also, yes, that is Flintlock on Cerebros. Grax has been banned in Allied Crossplay formats for a while now, and Naga has figured out that putting a tough 3 head on a character that wants to flip a lot of cards to trigger an ability is not that bad of a play, and it led him to some good success in Encounter 5, as he ended up taking that event with Fort Max. And, yeah, this should be interesting to see how this plays out. And we know that there's 2 Fort Max decks running around, so he is in a position to try and steal a couple of top spots in this event. Paralyzo will go on to Cerebros here, and he's going in. There's a Turnabout Snare and a getting a +4 after a call of blue, it looks like, on Paralyzo. Did not trigger with Cerebros. Okay, so the Turnabout Snare was flipped up by Brett, and if you haven't seen the errata of this thing yet, it's been out for a few months now. Turnabout Snare now only affects base values, so the attack is for 6, going into Galaxy Prime, taking 2 only here. That is the power of Turnabout Snare, ladies and gentlemen. Now, it is just really against characters that have a high innate attack like Cerebros and a low defense. It doesn't automatically nuke everything anymore, but it is still a decent card in the right situation, and this was very much the right situation. Moving back over to Brett's turn. Checking the scrap pile now to see if there's any potential upgrade shenanigans that Naga could pull in here off of Cerebros' trigger on defense. There's an energy pack. That is something. Medics protect the field. That is definitely a problem because Cerebros is undamaged right now, and as a result, could be significant on this attack, especially considering that Brett does only have 1 character on the field right now. A grenade is also present. A couple energy packs were in there as well. Naga has some options going into this attack. Another pocket, or another utility, a pocket processor, comes down onto Galaxy Prime, and we'll just send him in after setting a secret action. And the attack is for a 12? Pierce 2? Wait, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13. The trigger is met on Naga's side of the field, so that is probably a Medic's Protective Field. That is definitely a Medic's Protective Field. I think he counted his deck there for a second. I don't see why you wouldn't go for the Medic's Protective Field here. It's 13 blocking 4. That's 9. That is an obvious Medic's Protective Field situation if I have ever seen it. Another count of how many cards are in the deck. Grabbing the medics, that makes sense. So now Cerebros will just take 3 here. And Prime has a second Matrix. It doesn't do a whole lot in terms of Pierce, but it is an extra +1 attack, so that is always a good thing. Set a secret action after drawing for turn. Sending Cerebros in. Paralyzo box. Calling, I don't know what the call was. Misses the trigger regardless. Or not regardless. Misses the trigger. And there is a hidden fortification. That is pretty decent. Especially with a missed Paralyzo box trigger. That's what it's called. Waiting for a reshuffle here. And we have a cut here. Okay, one more card on Naga's side. Did not get the trigger. 7 going into 2, 3. And we have a reshuffle. So the defense so far, I think I saw 2 blue icons, so it's at least 4. There is tough 5 on the field, so that is at least something. And we've got another cut here. And let's see, so there was the white icon. 5 more cards. And defense. 9 defense. That is no pierce on the attack, so that is blocked. Dropping a combat dagger for an espionage will untap and move back over to Brett's turn here. And just getting some checks here on the scrap pile on Naga's end, because that is always important with Cerebros. Draw and draw for processor on Brett's side. There is a secret action on Naga's side of the field, so let's keep that in mind as Brett goes into his plays now. Another secret coming down. Secrets are just getting thrown out of everywhere right now. Tetradite comes down. That will negate 4 pierce on the attack here, but I really don't think that's going to be an issue considering the attack is for 8, 9, 10, 13. White icon, tough 1. Trigger is met. 7. 13 blocking 7 takes 6. I don't believe there's an energy pack in the scrap pile. There's a force field in the scrap pile. Never mind. So force field comes down, and that will cause 4 damage to get dealt to Cerebros. So it would be take 6 here. Takes 4 instead, and I believe Cerebros does only have 8 health. I am checking that now on Teletran. Cerebros does indeed only have 8 health, alive on 1. Are you kidding me? Again? How many times is this gonna happen? Good lord. So now... what is going to happen on Naga's side of the field? Impetuousing the Axe. That's a pretty significant hit. That does reduce Brett's ability to crack through Flintlock when that comes out eventually here. Because Cerebros is alive on 1. So barring an energy pack that pops out of nowhere, Cerebros is dead by basically any sort of direct damage. Cerebros goes in. Calling blue on Paralyzo. And incorrect. Going in for 7 currently. That's a Sab Arms. That explains something. So Brett was asking about whether the SA would trigger before Paralyzo, and that answer is no. Paralyzo would fully resolve before Sab Arms gets a chance to trigger. There's a white icon. Blocking 6. Taking 2 on a hit of 8, and it looks like there was not a trigger on Naga's side of the field. Wait a second. Any direct damage from Brett does it, and then Flintlock pops out, and he doesn't have that axe anymore, but he can still do a number. 10 attack right now with the 2 matrices on Galaxy Prime. Ion Blaster comes down. Okay, so that solves that issue. He will just have to attack here. Does not have the direct damage. Ooh, that is unfortunate. Going in for 12, and I think that in all likelihood that is a dead Cerebros. 6 attack, or 6 defense. 12 into 6 takes 6, and Flintlock is on the field. Dropping a Unflinching Courage for an Enforcement Batons, and let's see if Flintlock can close this out somehow. Playing an Enforcement Batons, Espionaging Blue, handheld and a Sparring Gear. Okay, so there goes a handheld blaster. That is a very unfortunate call on Espionage from Naga there. Flintlock goes in. I do not know what his attack is. I'm sorry, Flintlock has 4 attack base? What the? So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pierce 3? Block 5, almost said 5. Block 5, take 3. Drawing for Processor on Brett's side of the field after an untap. So we're just getting some questions here about the stats on Flintlock. 4 health, 0 defense, tough 3. So now we wait and see what Brett does with that knowledge. The tough 3 is going to be a bit of a pain to get through, but it isn't the worst thing in the world. Albeit that Ion Blaster seems to have disappeared. Oh, the Enforcement Batons came down, that's why. Reclaiming an energy pack. Interesting. Sending Galaxy Prime in. Reclaiming? Oh, that reclaims an orange icon. That's actually a pretty heads-up play. And that is a dead Flintlock, and Brett goes ahead and takes this game 1. And Naga declares he is going first. and we'll see what happens in the sideboarding process. But per the usual, I'm going to talk about the OI giveaways. As I've mentioned in all the other previously streamed matches, there is a series of giveaways going on to correspond with the Omega Invitational via Team Bayformers. And last week, they gave out a full set of each Allied Crossplay default set, plus a World Strike Omega Invitational playmat, one of 17 that is currently in circulation. The other 16, of course, belong to all the OI competitors, including myself. This week, in addition to the 3 full sets of Allied Crossplay cards from World Strike, Phase 1, and Monster Menagerie, a Generation Select lift ticket, mint sealed in box, is going to be given away in addition to the 3 sets. If you want a shot at that for yourself, head over to bit.ly/OI giveaways and use this code that I'm about to drop in the chat, 68W6. You'll get your entry into these giveaways. If you've already entered in codes in past weeks or even for this week's giveaway, no worries. You can go ahead and re-enter or edit your entry, I can speak, in order to add that code, 68W6. And again, you'll get an additional entry into that. So if you want a shot at some Allied Crossplay cards or a lift ticket figure, head over to bit.ly/OI giveaways and enter the code 68W6. And it looks like there is no sideboarding of teams on either side of the field. So I'm going to actually take this moment to talk about something I brought up in the last match, and that is the fact that this is going to be the last event where Fusion Boar is legal, in all likelihood. So if you're not familiar, Team Bayformers launched the 1C Open Card Initiative a few months ago to introduce cards into the game that serve as replacements for problematic cards that Wizards of the Coast released. The first 2 of these were Lie in Wait and Take the Shot, which you've seen on flips, no doubt, throughout this event. Those were meant to replace Peace Through Tyranny and Security Checkpoint, as those cards were a bit too game swingy to warrant a double pip icon, so or double pip or double icon, so you know what I'm saying. So those were the first 2 cards. Then United Against Tyranny, which is just a green-less Press the Advantage, got released in World Strike and was made a 1C card, open card eventually. Recently, we actually just graduated Hand of Adaptus, which is the 1C open replacement for Mission Briefing. So how Hand of Adaptus works is you draw a card for each bot or body mode character you have on the field that has an alt mode. And then now the newest 1C open card was just announced, Mecha Stars, which is a black icon weapon that gives +2 attack and Pierce 2. This is meant to serve as a replacement for Fusion Boar, because Fusion Boar is just a little too good with that +3 Pierce 3. And on top of that, it brings it in line with Calculated Strike, which is also a +2 Pierce 2. However, Mecha Star does have a bit more significance, as many members of the Team Bayformers community and the Allied Crossplay community at large were saddened by the news of Derek J. Wyatt's passing, and as a result, there have been efforts to honor him in a TFTCG card for a while now, and Mecha Star is that opportunity, as James Otron has done the art for this card in the animated style as a tribute to Wyatt himself. So, James Otron, if you're watching this, thank you very much for doing that. The art looks fantastic. And yeah, so that's a little bit that was added in as well to this card. And I will say this though, may not be the last time we do a animated reference on a card in tribute to Derek J. Wyatt. So you're going to want to keep an eye out for that in the future. And we are getting a pile shuffle here from Naga, so that indicates sideboarding is done on his side of the field. We are now waiting for Brett to conclude that process himself. So we will just go ahead and wait this one out. So how's everyone doing tonight? And it looks like the Okay, so Ozzy and Legendary just scheduled their match for a very confusing time slot. I am not sure exactly when. I am just a little confused right now about when Ozzy and Legendary are supposed to be playing. Because if it's when I think it is, I will be able to stream that match. Likely. I might not be able to, though, because I might need to actually make myself some food. Albeit I could probably get away with just making a quesadilla between that and my and Techno's match. Okay, 7 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. So, yeah, that and me and Techno's match is happening at 9 Eastern. Okay, yeah, I think I can make this work. I, in all likelihood, will be streaming Ozzy versus Legendary. We are just finishing up the sideboard process here, it is looking like. Naga is... Okay, we've got the pile shuffles have been, or cutting, I should say, have been done. And it looks like Naga is going first here. Flip up Fort Max, send Fort Max in. And there's the trigger. Everybody for 2. I'm not sure who the attack is going into here. Going into 2. It was going into Flame War, and that is a dead Flame War. Okay, so this is playing out very similarly to Game 1. It's just Flame War is getting KO'd first instead of Ayuk. So we got a sparring gear over on Brett's side of the field. Let's see if he goes and picks that up. Drawing for turn on Brett's side. I did not catch if he picked up the sparring gear or not. I was trying to pay attention to some match scheduling so that I can figure out if I'm going to stream. And Brett is still deciding things here, so that gave me plenty of time to respond to something. Okay, wait a minute. Looks like that match between Legendary versus Ozzy, as a bigger they are comes down into Ayuk again. Or, not again. Well, another bigger they are comes down, and then Prime flips and swings into Fort Max first. Going in for 8. Blocking 6, taking 2. So, yeah, it looks like Ozzy versus Legendary is happening at... Ayuk swings in, takes Pierce 4 onto Fort Max. Fort Max is now up to 6. Dropping something for a Paralyzal box. I believe it was a Medic's Protective Field. Okay, so Naga draws for turn as I'm also trying to juggle keeping match scheduling figured out here. Okay, so flipping up Fort Max, as you do in this deck. Fight for position force field, so that will guarantee that it takes at least 2 attacks to KO Fort Max here. Then again, the numbers indicate that it would require 2 attacks anyway, so that force field, I think, is really just to get it in rotation for Cerebros here, which is a pretty heads-up play on Naga's part. Everybody gets hit for 2, and the attack is 9 into Ayuk, I believe. Blocking 6, whoever it is. Takes 3 on Ayuk. Not dead yet. Yep, Bill just got in, said not a server cursed. Or not a server curse. But that is important, as now Ayuk can swing into Fort Max here on the crackback and not die mid-attack. So that is pretty significant, as I have learned painfully several times. Moving over to Brett's turn. Draw for turn. Is he? I think he's thinking about flipping Ayuk here. Is Ayuk the one that has or is basically just ransack? There is a Ayuk flip. Is Ayuk the one where? Where is Ayuk in here? Ayuk is the one that gets +1 attack for each blue you flip. Okay. And when it attacks a non-melee character. And Fort Max is definitely ranged in that mode. So as a result, Ayuk will probably get some damage off here, but we will see what Brett has to play to potentially boost that. Sparring Gear is the upgrade, going on to Galaxy Prime. Galaxy Prime going in first. Going in for 8. Not getting the trigger on Naga's side. And then Force Field will drop 5 damage down to 4, up to 10. Ayuk could very well clean this up here, but we'll see what happens. There's a blue. Going in for 7. Whoop. We just had an issue. Brett has just accidentally been kicked from the call. Okay, so Brett is back in the call. That was bizarre, to say the least. Okay, so now that that has resolved, 5 taking 2, so that means the attack had to have been for, yeah, the attack was for 7, blocks 5, takes 2, on 12. Naga will draw for turn. He can just attack into Galaxy Prime here and get some free damage in. That's a Paralyzo box. That's going to help his situation big time. Setting a secret action, and Fort Max is probably going to go into Galaxy Prime here. Yep, there's the attack call into Prime. Paralyzo boxing for blue. There is an end hostilities. That is most certainly a blue. Bowl off of Fort Max's trigger. Ayuk will die, and the attack is 12. Blocking 5, taking 7, up to 13 out of his 21. That is a lot of damage. Fort Max will flip to alt mode, and I don't think Brett has a way to do 3 direct damage. Again, we do not know deck lists until a player has been eliminated. Dropping something for a pocket processor. I did not hear that fully. I believe it was a handheld. Drawing for turn. Dropping a processor onto Prime. Setting a secret action. Sending Galaxy Prime in, and there's an end hostilities. Okay, that, I think almost guarantees that Fort Max gets the trigger off here. Going in for 8 on Brett's side. Yep. So Fort Max triggers. Galaxy Prime is up to now 14. And Fort Max is dead here, I think. Dropping in Enforcement Batons for a backup beam. Cerebros comes out and will draw for turn. It looked like Naga had an Impetuous in hand there. Playing the backup beam onto Cerebros. Counting how many cards he has left in his deck. Okay, and now Naga is checking for turnabouts, end hostilities, and sab arms. There's the snare. There's 3 end hostilities. Also, Hidden Fort was a ask. So 1 snare, 1 sab arms, 1 hidden fort, and 3 end hostilities is what is in Brett's scrap pile. So what is the action play going to be here from Naga? Impetuousing back the pocket. Interesting. Cerebro swings in. So there's a hidden fort. There's base 2. Bold 1, bold 2, white icon, and the trigger does happen. Let's see what the upgrade grab is here. Is there a Master Sword in the scrap pile? Doesn't look like it, so it looks like an energy pack is gonna be the pickup here. Yep, looks like the, what's it called? The energy pack may not... Okay, so Naga is now checking for energy packs on Galaxy Prime. Just 1 in that. Grabbing an increased durability. Eight Pierce 3 is the attack into Prime. He's sitting on 14. It's looking like he'll take the Pierce 3 here. Taking Pierce 3, going up to 17. Naga will not pick anything up. Brett will not pick anything up. We'll untap and go over to Brett's turn. Energy Pack drops onto Galaxy Prime. There's an Equipment Enthusiast to draw 2. And there is there is a reshuffle coming up here. Also, I'm going to mention this now. If you want a look at Mechastar's art, like I mentioned earlier, it is based on the animated style. I just dropped a link to the Bayformers webpage there. It's right on the front page. So, that is there for you to see. So, we're waiting for the reshuffle here. Still waiting for a reshuffle here as me, Bill, and Ozzy try to figure out some match scheduling issues. And we have a cut. And we're still on Brett's turn. Sending Galaxy Prime in. And 8 is the attack currently. 9. And Naga has to shuffle when he's playing a 50-card deck. $50-card deck and Transformers. What is this? So 9 going into 4, taking 5. Cerebros has 7 health remaining thanks to the increased durability. A Bashing Shield may come down at some point, but I'm not sure if Brett is playing that or not. I haven't seen one yet. There is an Impetuous getting rid of the Energy Pack. Is he going to get the trigger? Oh, he got the trigger just barely. And probably grabbing a... What is Naga going to grab here? He doesn't have a whole lot of options there. Not going to grab anything. Interesting. And that is a dead Galaxy Prime. And we are going to a Game 3, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to a Game 3. Okay, and we are going into Game 3. Sideboarding is happening. And little camera shake on Naga's side of the field. Brett is going first. And Naga is having some camera issues, apparently. Not sure what's going on over there. We're just waiting for some pile shuffling to occur. Let's see, what could we do to fill the void? Well, nobody's watching right now, so I cannot drop a hot take and just piss off the chat. Because there isn't one. Honestly, I really haven't developed any recent hot takes. Like, the last one I said was Hollow Matter Projector was held up by, or the value of Hollow Matter Projector was kind of inflated by Sky Shadow and Bull and Quake and Sky Shadow. And Naga was over here the other day saying I was right, and I'm like, excuse me, did I actually nail a hot take, like, on the nose? Like, was it actually accurate? Honestly, that was one event in a series of events that makes me think we are living in an alternate timeline right now. And Naga is now pile shuffling, so we should be getting cuts from both players in a moment. And we have got a pretty significant viewing party right now on the Bayformers server. Not including me and Bill, who have to be there. Bill has to be there because he's the judge. I'm here because I'm obviously streaming this thing. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 viewers right now on the Bayformers server. And we have Brett drawing his card for turn. It looks like we are off to the races here. Flipping up Flame War, sending Ayuk in first. Makes sense. Swinging for 4, pinging Ayuk for 1, and I believe that is a blocked attack. So, moving over to Naga's turn. Flip up Fort Max and show us the upgrade. Nope, it's a fight for position. Swing into Ayuk, and let's see if the Gator can get smacked off the board. There's a trigger. Everyone gets hit for 2. 9 pierce 2. That is likely a dead Gator. Yeah, wait. Actually, that may not be a dead Gator, because 9 going into 2 is 7. As long as Brett flips at least 1 blue, he is safe here. There's an Energon Axe. There's a handheld. And... oh, wait. He has tough 2 from... blocking 7 takes 2, because Ayuk innately has tough 1. Gets tough 1 from Flame War. Flipped a white icon. So only takes 2 there. That is significant. Dropping a Force Field for a Espionage. Flipping Fort Max to alt mode as a result of the effect, and we will move over to Brett's turn. Does he have the turn 2 bigger they are for the 3rd game in a row? Scoundrel's Blaster, that... and Naga was just making a joke about how his computer would have been flipped if there was another bigger they are. And if there was one, Brett probably would have smacked that down by right about now. Secret Action comes down and said Scoundrels is on Flame War, sending in Prime into not Flame War, what am I saying? Into Fort Max. Going in for 9, blocking 6, shooting Prime for 1, takes 3. And then Flame War will be doing at least Pierce 2. Sparring Gear gets played as a result of Prime's effect. And Flame War in currently for 5 Pierce 2. 5 Pierce 2. So Flame War will take a damage off Fort Max. Block 2 takes 6. No, wait, what? Go up to 6. Okay, yep, that math checks out. Is Naga gonna pick up that Paralyzo? Okay, Aussie versus Legendary happening at 11 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. I might stream that. I may leave that one to tank, though. We shall see, because my match is happening at 9 p.m. Eastern on Saturday versus Techno. So we will see what happens there as Naga is shuffling through his scrap pile quick. And counting the number of cards left in his deck. This is the one advantage of Transformers TCG, and pretty much all TCGs have, or at least that I'm aware of, have over Vegas. You're allowed to count cards. Espionage comes down. Calling blue. And Ozzy is over here making a joke about, whoa, no blue in hand on Brett's side of the field. That's an equipment enthusiast, a sparring gear, and an energy pack. Good lord. Energy pack goes on to Fort Max. Flip Fort Max, send him in, and to finish my statement earlier, there was a bit of confusion regarding the scheduling of Aussie versus Legendary. That has been settled, happening at 11 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. And Ozzy made a joke about just converting time to metric. 100 minutes in an hour, 10 hours in a day makes it easier. And I'm like, oh god, 100 minutes in an hour sounds horrifying. Good lord. Anyways, Fort Max misses the trigger. Wait a second. So that was 8 into 7. Flame War only takes 1, and Brett is looking pretty good right now. Fort Max missing the trigger. Good lord, that is a rarity these days. So what does Brett have up his sleeve here? If he flips up Ayuk, that could put a serious amount of hurt on Fort Max, because he doesn't have to fear any counter shots from Fort Max's alt mode at the moment. So he's really just able to kind of do whatever he wants here and just try to punch through Fort Max in that energy pack. Sparring gear comes down onto Flame War. Equipment enthusiast for 3. That's always a fun thing, a draw 3. Flipping up Ayuk. Sending Flame War in first. And even if Fort Max was in alt mode, that was not triggering, as there is no white icon in there. Okay, so Pierce 2 was on the attack there, so Fort Max is now at 8 damage. And then Ayuk next. Going in for 6. Block 4, take 2, up to 10. block 3, take 5 after a hit of 8. And alive on the energy pack. Backup beam, fight for position. And Fort Max needs to do something here if he wants a shot at winning this, because right now, Brett's looking in a pretty good position. All 3 characters are still alive going into, I think, turn 4 here? And Naga is just trying to think here. There is a precision fire calling bot mode. And a little confusion there about why Fort Max didn't take a damage. The call was bot mode. And Fort Max is not in bot mode. He's in body mode. There's a difference. And who is Fort Max going to go into here now? Fort Max into Flame War. 10 Pierce 2 after the trigger hits. 10 into... I said Flame War, I believe, was the target. I think. Waiting for the reshuffle. While we're here, I should probably mention, should I mention that? Might as well mention it just in case somebody sees this. Basically, over on the main channel, the scheduling, or the video schedule is changing slightly. We are pushing new videos back to Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern instead of Friday. Just with the way my schedule in real life is working right now, I need Fridays to edit things, so... yeah, this will make life a lot easier for me in terms of getting new content out. So, new videos now coming out on Saturdays at 10 a.m. Eastern instead of Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern. So, exactly 24 hours later. Flame War, Block 7 takes 3, and that is a dead Flame War on the nose. Fort Max will flip to alt mode, and then we move over to Brett's turn. Does he have utility removal for that energy pack? If he does, this game could be changing very quickly as Cerebros would pop out, and he gets a free shot at him. It'll be at the... wait. Naga might be reshuffling soon. If Brett has upgrade removal to get rid... or any sort of utility removal, I should say... that swings the match heavily in his favor. Yeah, if Brett gets rid of that energy pack, I think he just smacks Cerebro, since Naga will have to reshuffle. Come on, Brett. Play the utility removal. Pocket processor, okay, that's good. Just play the utility. No, secret action. Come on, I want you to kick Fort Max's rear. Please. We got a camera issue. We have got a camera issue. Going in for 9. I will commentate this in the meanwhile. Blocking 2, taking 7. We are waiting for the camera issue to resolve. Okay, Energon Axe goes on to Optimus here after the battle, and we can go ahead and switch back over here. Camera issue has been resolved. So we're just waiting for a couple of reshuffles to happen here, or rather one reshuffle to happen. And unfortunately, Brett was not able to remove that energy pack, it looks like. Yeah, he was not able to remove it. So Cerebros is on the field, and why does he have... I was about to say, why was the upgrades on Cerebros still? I did not see a escape capsule anywhere. And besides, Cerebros would not be able to... Well, Fort Max would not be able to hold a escape capsule and a energy pack at the same time, so... Okay, so we did have a slight misstep there. Those cards hold up. Okay, so, nope, never mind. So, the upgrades are indeed in the scrap. There was a bit of confusion about where they should be right now based on when the flip and the damage happened, so... Playing a Crushing Size to get rid of the Pocket Processor. Fight for position. Going into Galaxy Prime. Base 2. Bold 1. Bold 2. Getting the trigger. There's a white icon there as well. So going in for 8 Pierce 1? Okay, so the attack here, 8 Pierce 1, I think. Takes the Pierce 1. And Naga has no hand right now. Ooh, that is very interesting. I'm not sure if there's a Medic's Protective Field or a Force Field in the scrap pile right now, so we will have to see how this plays out. And nope, I did not just have a camera freeze. I thought I had a camera freeze, did not. Flipping Prime to alt mode, let's see what the top card is. It's a handheld. Not only is it not an upgrade, it is an it's not only an action, that is an absolute slap in the face. Ouch. So, Brett has Ayuk here, who could swing for a decent amount if he's got any sort of offensive action in hand. Potentially disable Safeguard and allow Galaxy Prime to take out Cerebros next turn. A handheld comes down onto Ayuk. That's decent. And, hey, both double blues show up. Lie in wait. And Ayuk goes into Cerebros. And the trigger has been gotten. 8. Because, again, Ayuk, when they flip at least a blue when attacking, they get +1 for each blue they flip. 8 going into... Eight going into 4, so the attack would deal 4 here. Does not have a way to... Or does not have a Safeguard card, or a, what's it called? Medic's Protective Field in scrap, and it does not look like it. Grabbing an armed hovercraft. Ayuk is alive on 1, but it is not a traditional alive on 1 because it was not dealt via attack damage. And untap and... Hold on one second, I gotta interrupt here. That is not an alive on 1 per the meme. That can only happen via attack damage. Anyways, moving over to Naga's turn. Secret action. And Naga's saying, let's pray, Cerebros. Going into Prime? What? Bold 1. White. He got the trigger. Does he have a major attack upgrade in the scrap? Or potentially a force field? Okay, Naga is thinking about this. He's checking for belligerence in the scrap pile. There is no belligerence in the scrap pile. That does impact Naga's decision, apparently. Just grabbing another armed hovercraft. That is I yuck off the field. That explains why he went into Galaxy Prime. And Galaxy Prime, I believe, takes 2 damage in that exchange. Yeah, wait a minute. Is that Pierce 3? Oh, no. Armed hovercraft just does a damage. So, yeah, takes the damage from armed hovercraft. 8 Pierce 3, I think, is the hit. Take 2 is after... take 3. 8 into... Oh, yeah, Pierce 3. That's how that works. Numbers and Pierce. How do they work? Drawing for turn. Alrighty. Brett is in a pretty good position right now. Prime is about on half health, but Cerebros has no defensive capabilities right now. This is down to the wire, folks, still. Like, this could still go either way. Brett does seem to have a slight edge from what I am seeing right now, though, but we shall see what will happen. And some banter happening between Naga and Bill at the moment. And cutting, there's the cut. And let's see what Galaxy Prime can do. I mean, it's probably going to start with Galaxy Prime flipping the bot mode, let's be honest with ourselves. Flip up Prime. Energy pack comes down. And Equipment Enthusiast for 3. Good Lord, Brett has just replenished his hand. Meanwhile, Naga is thirsting for a draw card right now. Albeit, I'm not sure if he's playing any in his deck. Galaxy Prime goes in. Hold the line. That's not going to do a whole lot against a 15-star character, buddy. But it is a heal 1, so maybe it's relevant. Going in for 11. Oh, Naga just barely triggered there. 1 blue at the last second. He's going to be blocking 2. 11 into 2 takes 9. That would KO him here. He looks like he's going for the force field. There's a force field on top of the scrap pile, so that is likely what Naga goes for here. Naga's still thinking about this here. Not sure what there is to think about exactly. The force field seems like the obvious play. Yep, there's the force field. Blocking 2 takes 9, but then force field drops it to 4. Energy pack is there, so this is not alive on 1. Dropping a lion weight for the pocket processor, and we will move over to an untap and Naga's turn. Draw for turn. Replacing the armed hovercraft with a handheld blaster. I mean, it gets that back into rotation, I guess. Cerebros has to go in here. No cards in Naga's hand. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. We got some card counting. Okay, so Cerebros is going in. Scrapping the lion weight. Gets the tough one. And getting the trigger. Does he have a attack boosting upgrade? Or, nope, going for an increased durability, it looks like? Yeah, it looks like the increased durability is going to be the call from Naga here. So Naga's doing some more card counting to see if he can trigger on defense. Going for an Enforcement Batons to get rid of the Energon Axe. So Naga must be able to trigger on defense here. And the attack is 9 Pierce 3, it looks like. Blocking 8, take 3. Up to 15 on Galaxy Prime, so that's 6 health remaining. This is down to the wire. So Brett has to punch through realistically 9 health here because Naga in all likelihood is going to be pulling the increased durability that we saw in the scrap a few minutes ago onto Cerebros here. Can Brett eclipse 9 damage? Quick check of how many cards left in Naga's deck. And 9 cards left in Naga's deck. He's flipping 8. What is Brett thinking over there? This is a long think, I will say that much. There's a pocket processor onto Galaxy Prime. Reclaiming an energy pack. That's a additional orange icon. Going in. Gets the trigger. Swinging in for 9 into 1, into 2, into 3. 4. 5. 9 into 4, or 9 into 5 takes 4. Did not trigger, though. That is significant. And alive on 1. Are you serious? Alive on 1. And then a second energy pack goes on to Prime off of his ability. We will untap and go over to Naga's turn here. Medics protect the field. It heals 1. Shifts the numbers ever so slightly. Going in for 7 Pierce 1 right now. And then the cut. Oh, did he not trigger again? 7 Pierce 2? Seven blocking 5? Takes 2. Up to 17 out of 21. This is down to the wire, folks. This is down to the wire. So we'll move over to Brett's turn now. And then draw for pocket after drawing for turn. She's got to get 2 damage through here. I don't know if he plays Cayman Crash or not. Again, I don't have the deck list because the deck list for a player will not be revealed until they are eliminated. Playing a Matrix, replacing the pocket. Bigger they are, that is not enough to eclipse or to get the Pierce 4. Oh, I forgot. Prime actually has 2 energy packs, so he is very much still kicking. Trigger is met here, but I don't think it does a whole lot here. Is there an escape capsule? So, Naga pulls in the increased durability. Attack is for 11. Blocks 4, takes 8. And then exact lethal on Cerebros here, long story short. I may have done the numbers and said the numbers a bit wrong, but that is exact lethal on Cerebros. And then there's the 3rd energy pack. And I don't think that means anything good for Naga. Sending Flintlock in. 1, 2. 5 Pierce 2. Taking 2. And this could be a stall game, so let's see how this plays out. Drawing for turn on Brett's side. Playing a secret, swinging into Optimus. Swinging in for 9. 5 gets him. And with that, Brett has toppled Fort Max here. And let me pull up the right marker. Yep, there's the right marker. And with that, Brett has won 2-1 over Naga and Fort Max. Brett used Galaxy Prime, and again, Naga used Fort Max. Galaxy Prime doing things. That is impressive to see against Fort Max, who was expected to do some things. Again, there is still a second Fort Max deck floating around with Techno, so it could still do some things here, so we will see what happens. Just a reminder, if you haven't used this match's promo code 68W6 at bit.ly/OI giveaways, be sure to do that. That code is going to be good until the end of the grand finals. And again, you'll be entered to win either some Allied Crossplay cards or some other cool swag. Last week there was an OI playmat giveaway. This week it is a Generation Select mint in sealed box lift ticket. And who knows what comes in the weeks ahead during the OI. We will wait and see what happens. But for now, again, Brettasaurus has won with Galaxy Prime and crew over Naga and Fort Max 2-1. That will do it for this broadcast. Hopefully you enjoyed what you saw here today. If you did, there's a little red button you can push down below to show that. And, of course, go check out the main channel at the link in the description. Next match to happen for the OI is Energon Hustler, Dave himself, versus Sandman. That match is happening in about 3 hours. I will not be broadcasting that because that is a little too early in the morning for myself. The next match I will be broadcasting is the first losers bracket match, Zero versus Vangelis, tomorrow at 4:30 Eastern. And then tomorrow as well, over on Tank's Twitch page, link in the description, will be Tank versus... And tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Central, I should mention Tank versus Frank is happening at 6 p.m. Eastern. At 9 p.m. Eastern, I should say, there was some Central talk over in tournament chat, so my mind was on Central there for a second. Techno versus myself happening at 9 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night on the Bayformers server, and that match will be re-uploaded. And then finally, Aussie versus Legendary tomorrow at 11 p.m. Eastern. So again, recapping the schedule tomorrow. Zero versus Vangelis at 4:30 Eastern. Tank versus Frank over on Tank's Twitch page at 6 p.m. Eastern. Myself versus Techno at 9 p.m. Eastern. That will be re-uploaded after it is recorded. And Aussie versus Legendary at 11 p.m. Eastern. We will be broadcasting Zero versus Vangelis and Aussie versus Legendary. Tank will be broadcasting himself versus Frank. And I will record and re-upload Techno versus myself. Once more, for tonight, Brett has defeated Naga using Galaxy Prime over Fort Max 2-1. And that will do it for this broadcast. We'll see you tomorrow for that suite of games. Peace out, y'all.